Okay. I never done a video of me crying, but I'm trying to like calm myself down, and also like I feel like this will help me. Um, but recently I've been like thinking that I have all these things that are meant for me, or oh my cat's about to attack me. Okay. Recently I've been feeling like I know my worth, and so I'll try to like stay true to that and stay true to like my dream expectations. Like I know my worth, so like um I shouldn't take this, or I know my worth, so I shouldn't let this happen, and all of these things. Um, but I also forget that I'm literally just 21, and just because you know something doesn't also mean that you know how to like integrate it in a healthy way. So recently I've been catching myself like okay, I know my worth, and instead of like speaking up about it or being open about it or sharing my thoughts or what my I think my worth is, I just like shut down, and I try to take care of myself by like putting up a wall. But then you put up this wall, and then people don't really want to be around you anymore because you're putting up this wall and not really explaining yourself or what your worth really is. And you just keep like saying it in your brain, like, I know my worth, I know my worth, I know my worth. I shouldn't be taking this, I know my worth, I shouldn't be taking this. And like, it ends up being like you're talking to yourself, you're not even talking to the other people. And so now you end up being the problem of what you first thought was the problem was them. Sorry, I mixed that up for sure, but you end up becoming the problem that you thought was getting in your way. But isn't that always how it works? That you really are your own problem, and you really have to heal yourself, and people are a reflection of you. So if they're reflecting something you don't like, then it comes from you. Anyways, it's just sad and annoying and confusing. And the worst part is like you say you know your worth, you say you know what like the next step is, and then this step happens, and then you feel kind of out of control and confused and sad and alone. And that's what's been happening with me. Like I thought I knew my worth, so I thought I knew what was a good step. But then God comes in and and does the step for you, so you don't have to do the step, and then you feel out of control. That's how I'm feeling, like I'm not in control, but you asked for it, and so it happened. And so what's the issue now, you know? So yeah, I asked for it, and so it happened. And my part was like it's hard for me to like speak up for myself, and it's hard for me to like take those next steps. So I asked God to do it for me. And then God does it. And then I feel like, wait, like, what are you doing? Like, God, stop and, like, do the opposite for me. Like, don't let this end. Don't let this, like, have to be a new beginning. Things like that. So now I'm stuck. Or not stuck, but I just feel stuck. I feel stuck and, like, stagnant. And, like, I'm shutting down. I've been in bed literally all day. Like, I have not stood up from this bed. The only time I've gotten up from this bed is to feed my cat. And then my cat's like staring at me, like obviously knows something's wrong. I'm like in bed all day, just laying down, just forcing myself to sleep. And I just don't know what's next. That's why I think that's why I'm crying, because I don't know what's next. And also, I think the perception of others is also like messing with my brain right now. Because again, I started off by saying like that I had all these things of like, oh, I know my worth, or like, oh, I know what I know what I want my future to be. I know what I want it to look like. I know how I want other people to make me feel. And it ends up becoming a lot of like I. And you think that it's healthy to be like selfish in that way. Like, instead of like accepting people for who they are and then seeing if that works. And if not, then like just finding a healthy way to like speak about that. I just don't know how to like have a healthy communication when it comes to like, hey, this doesn't feel right, or hey, this job doesn't feel comfortable anymore. And I just like build up a wall, and it always ends up being like a bad ending. It's always a bad ending because I don't know how to navigate that. And I feel guilty and embarrassed because people around me and me myself, like, I know I'm a smart person. I know how to communicate, even though I have problems communicating sometimes. I I know these things, like the way I'm making this video right now, and I know the conclusions and I make the connections, and I know that it's like part my problem, part just letting go, part having faith, part just not focusing on the future, focusing in the present, and part like listening to my instinct instead of the results. And still, with all of that, I'm still 21 and just a girl and like just a human. And so I'm going through all the motions, and it's just a lot and confusing and hurtful. That's what's like keeping me stuck, that it hurts. So it's hard to have like faith, and it's hard to have hope, and it's hard to like remember your worth, because it hurts. And so if it hurts, then you like obviously want to heal it. And sometimes what like heals better or feels like it's healing you better is like the quickest medicine, the quickest that you can find to make you feel better and to heal you instead of the long run. And I don't know, it's just a lot. And I know I'm strong, and I know I'm smart. It's just a lot. I'm just a lot to keep up with. So I can't be mad at people for not wanting to keep up with me, because like I can barely keep up with myself. I can barely understand myself half of the time. I can barely like figure out what I really want. How do I want it? I can barely speak. But I can do it like so well in my brain. So I just don't know why I have like a issue like disconnecting the brain from like my throat and from my heart. Like they're just three different levels, three different things going on. And I just want to be in control. Like that's one of the things, I want to be in control of like my destiny and everything. But then sometimes when I am in control, I can't even handle that power of being in control because of the way like abuse of that power, and even like in ways that I think are like me being like strong and independent, but they're actually just toxic and like egotistical and just like mean. Yeah. And I just noticed recently that I'm mean. Yeah. I just noticed recently that I'm mean, that I'm embarrassed from it. And I just noticed recently, well, not recently, but like recently, it's just brought up to my attention again that I just have these episodes that I can't control, even though in the moment it feels like I'm controlling it, or I don't know, because even in the moment it feels wrong and it feels mean, or it feels like just annoyed, like I feel annoyed. But maybe I'm just annoyed with myself and my brain, and that's why I can't enjoy the moment. I'm just not a victim, so that's like, it sucks. Like, that just sucks that I'm not a victim and I have like problems and I can't control them, but I know I can. I just have to want to, but also it's just hard and I'm just confused. Yeah. And I think I'm bipolar. But yeah, I don't even know what else to say anymore. Maybe I should try to make myself feel better. So let me try to talk to myself. I've been talking to myself in the morning, like all day today. But I've been being honest with myself. But I'll be honest. I've been being like rudely honest to myself. And some of the things I've said to myself have been like, you have problems. You're mean. You have issues. Why do you act the way that you act? Why can't you control yourself? Why do you stay stuck? Why can't you speak? Why are you rude? Why are you being selfish? I'm gonna try to be nice to myself. But I feel like at the moment that if I'm being nice to myself, I'm not like shedding light to the problem, which is me. Like, I'm the problem. Like, I think that other people are the problem, but it's me. I'm the problem. So I'm the problem. I know I'm not a bad person. I know I don't have a bad heart. I know I'm a good person. I know I have a big heart. I know I'm sensitive. I know I'm emotional. I know I'm loving. I know that I want love. I know I'm not mean. I know I'm nice. know I'm caring. I know I'm understanding. I know I'm forgiving. I know I have potential. I know I have faith. I know I'm pretty. I know that I'm not perfect.